still have a lot of time to review for whatever your exam will be later. Okay? So there are only two topics. So basically, pareho silang arthritis. And very easy naman. Okay? So the first topic is all about gouty arthritis. Okay? So ano ba yung gout? Sino yung mga may kamag-anak na may gout dito? O sino na yung nag-gout? No? Oo. Sabi, mga nag-gout na eh. Oh. So gout is, what is gout? It's a metabolic, ano section pala ito? Section ano naman? A? So gout is a metabolic disease characterized by recurrent episodes of arthritis brought about by deposition of monosodium urate in the joints. So it's characterized by severe pain and inflammation. Kaya characteristic clinical finding is podagra. By podagra is the inflamed big toe. Yan. So ano ba sa panagagaling ng uric acid? Well, basically, uric acid is the final product of purine metabolism. Okay? So, and it circulates mainly as monosodium urate, normally excreted from the body through the urine. Okay? Or sometimes through the feces. So, ito yung sources ng purine. So, we have the dietary sources ng purine, yung exogenous pathway, at meron din endogenous galing sa DNA and RNA turnover. Now, this entire process occurs within the liver and in the intestinal mucosa. So, as you can see here, there is a breakdown of purine. Eventually, the final product is uric acid, not allantoin. Okay? Dito sa humans, hanggang uric acid lang tayo because we do not have the enzyme uricase. Mammals, other mammals, they have uricase. So, they are able to convert uric acid into allantoin. Now, ito yung final pathway from adenosine. Okay? So, makikita nyo, you have there the xanthine oxidase as the rate limiting step. In the same way sa GMP, okay, sa guanosine. Ayan din siya. Okay? So, as I've said, mammals, other mammals can convert the final product into something that is more water-soluble and easily excretable. Now, since we do not have that enzyme, excess production or decreased excretion may lead to an increase in uric acid. Kasi ang hyperuricemia is a product of either under-secretion or overproduction. Now, in case of increased uric acid production, this may occur among patients with tumor lysis syndrome, yung mga merong cancer na nag-undergo ng chemotherapy, hemolytic anemia, yung may psoriasis. Those with yung mga decreased secretion naman, yung may renal impairment. And also, yung nagtitake ng mga diuretics. Because diuretics tend to compete for the excretion of uric acid. Now, if this uric acid are not excreted, what will happen? Right? They will circulate as a monosodium urate, eventually finding their way in the synovial joints. Okay? So, yan siya. So, this will be acted upon since urates are not native in the joints. This will be acted upon by macrophages, no? Leading to release of inflammatory mediators and the release of inflammatory mediators that will signal other inflammatory cells to go to the site of the monosodium urate, leading to an intense inflammation. Kaya meron ka ng lahat ng signs ng inflammation. So this is one of the reasons why patient would come. Kasi ang hyperuricemia, wala naman siyang signs and symptoms. Hindi mo alam na may hyperuricemia ka na unless magkaroon ka ng arthritis. So these are the risk factors. So these are the risk factors for gout. Okay? So ang isang non-reversible risk factor is the milk gain. male gender. So, ito, yung pagiging lalaki ay isang, that's why it's more common among males. Kasi yun ay risk factor, pagiging lalaki. Tapos, and the rest, okay, the rest are reversible. Ay, SR, ano ba lang ako? Yan. Kasi may mga sila bakutuan dito. Pero yan. Okay, the rest of the risk factors are reversible naman and can easily be addressed like hypertension, dyslipidemia, obesity, yan. Pwede naman niyang mabago. And these are the drugs aside from diuretics, niacin, ECA, cyclosporine, and low-dose aspirin, all can increase uric acid. Now, as I've said, when patients come to the clinic, they would usually complain of pain, severe pain. Okay? Hindi yung sakit na matitis. Di ba naman, hindi mo tayo talaga magpapacheck up kung kaya natin iisin yung sakit. Ano? So, in case of doubt, yung sakit ng arthritis sobra. And that's the reason they've come to the emergency room. Sometimes, hindi nga sa outpatient clinic, sa emergency room. Kasi habang kayang tiisin, titiisin. No? Pag hindi na makalakad, ayan, pupunta na sa emergency room. That's why, the initial goal is to relieve pain. Siyempre, kailangan ang role mo bilang doktor is to relieve the symptom. Okay? Sometimes kasi when you address, we all know that the etiologic agent is the uric acid. Now, sometimes we cannot do that right away. We cannot address the hyperuricemia. We won't say, sige, pababayin natin yung uric acid during acute attack, we do not do that. Right? Because addressing or lowering the uric acid during acute attack will further aggravate the condition. Okay? Lalong maging masakit. Kaya during acute gout flare, your primary goal is to relieve pain. Right? So, ano yung bibigay natin to relieve pain? One is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. So, primarily, they will come to you already with NSAIDs. So, sabi niya, nag-take na mo ako niyan. Now, among the NSAIDs, yung indomethacin is said to be one of the more effective ones for management of gouty arthritis. Yung indomethacin. Isa yan sa mga pinakamaganda at effective na pain reliever for patients with gouty arthritis. Now, we've talked about NSAIDs a long time ago. Nasa inyo na yung notes niya, so you can go back. No? And you know the main mechanism of action as anti-inflammatory, ganun din yung mechanism of action in arthritis. Because the pain in arthritis is related to inflammation, then therefore the pain reliever should address the inflammation. So, NSAIDs, hindi opioids. Now, another one is colchicine. Okay? Now, colchicine helps to alleviate the pain primarily because it acts on the cytoskeleton of the inflammatory cells. Now, the cytoskeleton is required for these phagocytes to move to the sites. Kasi hindi naman sila lahat nandun sa may monosodium urate. Nagkakaroon lang ng signal na foreign ito. Kaya, ang tendency, yung mga neutrophils, they would travel to the site where the monosodium urates are. And for them to travel, kailangan meron silang intact na tubulin. Okay? So, yung tubulin is not only used for multiplication or division of cells, okay, sa division, hindi lang siya doon importante, pero importante rin ito for the neutrophils to move and migrate to the site of inflammation. Now, if that tubulin structure would be inhibited, destroyed, or paralyzed, then the cells, these inflammatory cells would not be able to go to the monosodium urate, dinala yung mga atake, so walang pain. Okay? And these are all the other mechanisms of neutrophil inhibition by colchicine. Okay? So, yan nga. Nadi-decrease din yung release ng chemotactic factor. Without the chemotactic, kasi yung chemotactic factors, these are the signals for the inflammatory cells to go to the site. So, pag walang chemotactic factors, then less inflammation. Okay? Decreased motility, as I've said, and decreased phosphorylation of neutrophil proteins. That's why there would be a decrease in the release of glutathione. Now, what are the adverse effects? Just like NSAIDs, alam natin yung adverse effects ng NSAIDs, ganun din, no? So, commonly talaga sa mga colchicine yung diarrhea. Kasi ang isa pa niyang effect, yung diarrhea, may excrete mo rin yung some uric acid. Kasi di ba, ang isang pathway ng uric acid excretion, not only renal, but also through the intestine. So, diarrhea, somehow may excrete mo rin yung excess uric acid. Okay? Now, some of its outstanding adverse effect would include hair loss, so may alopecia, kung parating na ginagamit, it could lead to bone marrow depression, neuritis, and myopia. Okay. Now, colchicine has a lot of drug-drug interactions. So before using colchicine, you have to make sure that it is due to gout. And you are not to combine them with these other drugs like cyclosporine and tacrolimus, which are immunomodulators used in the treatment of another type of arthritis, which is rheumatoid arthritis. So, hindi mo siya pagsasamahin because of drug-drug interaction. Like possibly, yung maapektuhan yung excretion. Now, and then, yung ultimate, binigyan mo na ng NSAIDs, binigyan mo ng colchicine, masakit pa rin. So, the last option is to give glucocorticoids. And we all know the mechanism of glucocorticoids. Its target is the phospholipase A, which is above the action of the OX. Diba? So, alam na natin, it inhibits the conversion of phospholipid into arachidonic acid, which is the precursor of most prostaglandins and even leukotrienes. So, yun yung mechanism ng glucocorticoids. Okay? Now, next group of drugs. So, na-address na natin yung pain. Okay? Nawala na. Bumalik sa yung pasyente. Mataas pa rin ang uric acid. So, what do we do? We now give drugs that can lower the uric acid. So, one of those agents, so yung categories ng mga drugs that reduce plasma urate are the following. Those that reduce synthesis, those that enhance excretion, and those that can convert uric acid into allopurinol. So, first we have allopurinol. Ito yung oldest drug that inhibit uric acid metabolism. That's allopurinol. Siya yung pinaka-commonly used, siya yung unang na market. So, anong mechanism of action? It targets the rate-limiting step in the synthesis of uric acid, which is, anong rate-limiting synthesis? Rate-limiting enzyme? Okay. So, it inhibits xanthine oxidase. So, be it adenosine or guanosine, hindi sila mako-convert into uric acid. So, very effective. Okay? Very effective yung gamot. No? Ang problema lang is, and it can be given together with colchicine. Kapag ka wala na yung acute flare. Okay? Pag magbababa ka na ng uric acid sa pasyente na initially gouty arthritis ang manifestation, mataas pa rin ang uric acid, kailangan i-combine mo siya initially with colchicine kasi sudden drop in uric acid can precipitate an inflammatory response. And that could lead to an acute gouty attack. Okay? That's the reason why you do not give uric acid lowering agent during acute gout flares. Kasi lalong sasakit yun. Kasi it will disturb the uric acid homeostasis there at the joints. Magugulo yung mga uric acid crystals nun sa yung some uric acids will be lifted out and so magugulo yung mga crystals doon na nakasaksak sa mga synovial joints mo, and this could lead to more inflammation. Right? So again, you use these uric acid lowering agents kapag walang acute flare ng gout. Now, when you give these drugs, ang isa sa mga maaaring maging problema din is it could precipitate an acute gouty attack, lalo na if the uric acid level is very high. Okay? So kahit walang acute attack, walang sakit, walang inflammation, pag binigay mo ito during the initial stages, you may combine it with colchicine. Okay? Ganun lang. Now, so allopurinol is very effective, as I've said, okay? Pero ang problema is the adverse effect profile. So tingnan niyo ang dami. Bukod sa abdominal GI adverse effects. Marami din siya. May mga peripheral neuritis, necrotizing vasculitis. Ang pinaka-toxic is Stevens-Johnson. This drug is one of those drugs notorious for causing Stevens-Johnson. And we all know it is quite lethal. Or even TENS. No? Halos magka-pareho yan. Ano ba yung mga SJ at TENS? Yung extreme. Okay? Extreme hypersensitivity reaction. That could be lethal. No? So, we lost one student because of SJ. So, I think, this year ba siya? Or last year? So, yun. No? Now, kaya pa natin i-determine kung sino magkakaroon ng SJ. Sa ngayon, sa technology natin dito sa Philippines, we will not be able to determine who will develop SJ. Malalaman mo na lang yan pag meron na sila. Right? So, you have to, so, ano ang moral story dyan? Kailangan, yung pasyente na bibigyan mo to, i-notify mo. Hindi naman para maging, ano siya, kasi minsan lang pagka in-educate mo tungkol sa adverse effect, at tendency naman maging okay. Lahat na lang mag-interpret. Pero, nasabihin mo lang na be cautious about the development of any urticaria or signs of skin allergic reaction. Okay? Kung halimbawa, uminom siya niya, nagmumula yung skin niya, nagbigla siya nagkaroon ng rashes na dati naman hindi nagde-develop sa kanya, the first thing to do is stop the drug and then go back to the drug. Okay? Now, dahil because of that adverse effect, meron tayo newer drug that acts also the same way as allopurinol. Same mechanism of action. Inhibit the rate limiting step. Inhibit na rin yung sulfate oxidase. So, basically, same therapeutic effect. Pero, saan sila nagkakaiba? Sa kanilang adverse effect profile. As you can see, ang kanyang adverse effect is more directed towards the liver. Right? Abnormal liver function. Then, diarrhea, headache, which is common in different drugs also. So, relatively safer siya. Problema na lang niya, mas mahal talaga siya kumpara po sa allopurinol. Pero ma-afford pa rin. Kasi I think meron na naman itong mga generic. Right? So, yun lang yung mga sulfate oxidase inhibitor. Next, we have the drugs that increase uric acid secretion or excretion. So, ang pinaka dito is probenecid. Ang simple lang ang mechanism of action ito. They inhibit the anion exchanger found at the proximal convoluted tubule, thereby preventing the reuptake or reabsorption of uric acid. Kasi normally, filter and then re-reabsorb sa proximal. So, with probenecid, nakikipag-compete siya sa reabsorption. So, imbis na yung uric acid ang ma-reabsorb, itatapon na lang siya sa PA. Okay? So, yun ang kanyang mechanism of action. Same thing with other uricosuric agents. So, aside from probenecid, we have sulfapyrazole. Okay? We have fenofibrate. You've heard about fenofibrate. It's a drug for hypertriglyceridemia. And then, you have losartan, yung antihypertensive. Diba sabi natin, ano ang risk factors ng gout? Yung mga may high blood. So, kung may gout at hypertensive, maganda bigay mo ARBs. Kung halimbawa naman, diba, another is dyslipidemia, mataas ang triglycerides, halimbawa mo, mataas ang cholesterol, then, fenofibrate would be a good choice for those patients. But again, fenofibrate is more for hypertriglyceridemia. So, ang problema lang dito sa mga uricosuric agent, hindi mo ma-absorb yung uric acid, itatapon mo sa ihi, pwede siyang mag-cause ng stone formation. So, kailangan, inom ka rin ng maraming tubig para maitapon mo yung crystals, para hindi siya mag-stone formation. And then last, o diba, kadali, kung konti lang yung gamot, isa, dalawa, tapos yung mga uricosuric agent. Tapos, eto na siya, pegloticase. Right? It's a recombinant uricase, no? From yung mammalian uricase. So, it's a recombinant technology, so hindi siya ganun at ang problema pala nito yung hypersensitivity reaction. It could lead to anaphylaxis. So, same mechanism of action, it converts uric acid into alcohol, and then it becomes water-soluble and easily excluded. Diba? Tapos na tayo sa gouty arthritis. Kadali, diba? Susunod na tayo sa another type of arthritis. Ito ngayon ang medyo challenging. Now, for rheumatoid arthritis, there are so many drugs under this condition. Napakadami nito, mga DMARDs, biologic DMARDs, and biologic DMARDs. Now, I will be discussing only, say, some common DMARDs, but the rest of the drugs, I want you to read on capsule. Okay? Marami akong mababanggit ng mga gamot dito, pero hindi lahat sila ay i-discuss ko dahil halos pare-pareho na lang sila. So when you study in capsule, what I want you to do is classify the drug. Saan ba siya? Biologic DMARDs ba siya? Non-biologic DMARDs? Okay? Ngayon, kung na-classify mo ng ganon, then under that main classification, there are further sub-classified based on sometimes mechanism of action. Pero yung iba, wala naman. So, alam niyo yung bawa, alam niyo dapat ang adverse effect. Okay. Now, how do we make it easy? Alright. So, wala akong nagawa sa pangalan. Ang sabi ko lang sa inyo, para maalala niyo yung pangalan ng gamot, kailangan sinasabi niyo. Okay? You have to pronounce it. Okay? Otherwise, hindi mo siya maalala. Mag-pronounce mo lang siya sa isip mo. Pagka sinabi mo lang sa isip mo, hindi mo siya maalala. Okay? So, ano ba ang rheumatoid arthritis? How is it different from gouty arthritis? Ang rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disorder. Okay? So, wala talagang etiologic agent na masisisi tayo. Unlike sa gouty arthritis, masisisi mo sarili mo dahil sumubang kain mo. Ganon. O may iniinom kang gamot, di ba? O kasi lalaki ka. Di ba? Pero sa rheumatoid arthritis, it's an autoimmune disorder. Most autoimmune disorders are more common among humans. Naman yung problema doon. Okay? So, it's an autoimmune disorder and therefore, it involves a lot of immune reaction leading to a lot of inflammation. At alam naman natin, pagka sinabi natin autoimmune disease, the body lacks the memory to recognize native proteins. Diba? And in case of rheumatoid arthritis, what the body wants to get rid of are proteins that contain citrulline or yung tinatawag ng citrulinated protein. Napakadami nun. Nakikita mo sa akin, sa kung makita, napakadami nun. Lalo na yung proteins na nandun sa mga synovial fluids dun sa mga joints. Kaya doon nagkakaroon ng manifestation. O sabi natin, autoimmune ito. And therefore, there is an inflammatory reaction going on. And the inflammatory reaction mostly happens on the joints. Parang sa gout din. Pero sa gout, kaya naman nagkaroon ng inflammatory reaction kasi the body recognized a real foreign body, which is uric acid. In case of rheumatoid arthritis, yung katawan natin, it wants to get rid of something that is native. Naawin niya yung sarili natin. And that's the reason why in rheumatoid arthritis, it is also associated with extra-articular symptoms. Bukod sa arthritis, meron pa siyang ibang signs and symptoms. And take note, ang rheumatoid arthritis should also happen even in the very young. Meron tayong katawag ng juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. Okay? Bukod pa sa rheumatoid arthritis na meron sa mga bata. Okay? So again, ang target ay mga citrulinated proteins. Ano ba yung citrulline? It's an alpha amino acid that is attached to the final protein after translation. Okay? So na-translate na, tapos na-idadagdag pa itong alpha amino acid na ito sa mga proteins na yun. Kaya tinatawag na citrulinated proteins. Okay? Now, so what happens? When the native inflammatory cells try to get rid of those proteins, ito yung nangyayari sa mga joints natin. So dapat ganyan lang siya kaliit. Pag may arthritic joint ka, ganyan nakalaki. As you can see, kumakakal yung synovial compartment. Diba? And the enlarged joint is due to edema and the migration of a lot of inflammatory cells. At itong namin dito sa kanan, ay, hindi nyo na nakikita. Kaya ako in-upload para makita nyo sa kanan. So, ito yung mga players, no? Na inflammation. Hindi ko nga makita. Ayan. Mamaganda pang sa loob ng mga. Ayan. So, ito yung mga players ng inflammatory cells. You can see, you have the CD4. So, ito you have your antigen-presenting cells presenting the antigen to the T cells that will lead to activation. At pag na-activate yan, ma-activate yung T cells, and then there is production of antibodies. Also, by activation of T cells, lalabas yung mga inflammatory mediators like your interleukin that leads to activation of macrophages leading to the formation of tumor necrosis factor. No? So lahat yan, at pati yung release ng RANKL, no? So lahat ito, yung mga or inflammatory mediators na yan, dadami. No? At pag madami yan, mas lalong dadami yung mga inflammatory cells inside. Now, how do we diagnose RA? So, ang diagnosis ng RA, ito, so, purely clinical. So, meron siyang system, no? Meron siyang system, scoring system. And then, ito na yung criteria. So, at saka ito. So, if the patient has a score of more than 6 or more, pwede na natin ma-diagnose na RA. Okay? So, walang definite na laboratory examination na siyang magsasabi. So, all the laboratory examinations dito na nire-request are non-very specific. Kailangan merong associated signs and symptoms. So, what do we use to manage RA? Obviously, dahil arthritis is to, masakit na, may pain, so you have to address the pain. Plus, okay, these agents. So, yung mga hindi na nakokorek ng mga NSAIDs, these are the drugs used for managing RA. Okay? Ito yung mga immune modulators. So, we have first, the disease-modifying anti-rheumatic drugs. Methotrexate, hydroxychloroquine, sulfasalazine, and leflunomide. Second, we have the anti-tumor necrosis factor alpha. Nakita nyo yung role ng TNF, no? So, it will activate the macrophages and will cause a lot of inflammation. So, ito, under anti-TNF alpha, ito sila. And then, we have the non-TNF biologic DMARDs. Ibig sabihin, hindi na tumor necrosis factor ang kanyang target. Like, for example, yung interleukin 6 antagonist. Okay, so they block the receptor for interleukin. At meron din tayo mga T-cell blockers, no? So, you have your abatacept and anti-CD20 B-cell repeating monoclonal antibody. And then, the other synthetic DMARDs, yung mga GK Janus kinase inhibitors. So, alam na natin, pagka mga titibang ending, they attack JK receptors. And alam natin na ang mga JAK receptors are the receptors for several cytokines. So, ito lang yan siya. So, andyan, makikita niya ang dami dito. Pero hindi ko yung lahat i-discuss kasi lahat tayo matutulog na. Mag-i-ini sleeping beauty tayo. Yun ay ayaw na ayaw. Alam ko. Dahil ang inyong anong tawag doon? Patience sa mga lecture ay nagpili na. So first, let's talk about abatacept. So abatacept is a inhibitor of T-cell. Okay? It inhibits T-cell activation. Paano ba dyan? Ito kasi mas maganda dito pagka may picture. So nakita natin dito, di ba, yung antigen-presenting cell, ipe-present niya yung antigen, siyempre dito sa T-cell, at doon, ma-activate yung T-cell. And their union is brought about by the CD80-86 receptor binding to CD28 receptor of the T-cell. Ito yun. Ay, kita nyo yan. Ito yun. So, you have your antigen-presenting cell, presenting the antigen to T-cell, ultimately activating the T-cell. Now, the activation, yung kanyang presentation is through the receptor CD8086 from the APC and CD28 from the T cell. So, yung combination ng CD8086 receptor, magbabind yan. Kasi nag-split yung mga iba. Ayan. Kita nyo na ba sa likod? Kita nyo na sa likod? O mahina ba ako sa likod? Sabihin niya lang kung mahina ako dyan. So, ito yung CD8086 and binding to CD28 receptor of the T cell is very important for T cell activation. So, ang goal o ang mechanism of action ng abatacept, ito siya. So, abatacept intercept. Diba? So, it prevents the binding of these two receptors. So, hindi na sila magkikita. At pagka ganun, wala ng T-cell activation. So, yun lang yung mechanism. Abatacept, intercept. Saan siya nag-intercept? Sa binding ng CD8086 at saka CD20. Sa lahat naman ng mechanism of action, ito yung main number. Okay? So, medyo madali naman siya maalala. So, since it blocks the T-cell activation, alright, so alam natin, suppress yung immune reaction. But that's good only for patients with rheumatoid arthritis. But for patients who do not have, for people who do not have RA, ay hindi pala. Ibig sabihin na, but that's good only for managing RA. But the problem is, abatacept would also inhibit the T-cell activation by in other parts of the body which is necessary for battling infection. Diba? So yun yung ang problema niya, nasusuppress yung immune reaction natin against infection. Kaya yun yung isa sa mga adverse effects. Okay? So, ito yung adverse effect ng abatacept. So, infection, yun yung number one. Kasi immune suppressant siya. And others, headache, hypertension, dizziness, yan, mga common na yung mga. Now, another one is apremilast. Ang apremilast naman, its target is the phosphodiesterase 4. Okay? Alright. So, ang phosphodiesterase 4, alam na natin, it is an enzyme that degrades or hydrolyzes the cyclic AMP. So, you can see here, diba? Yan siya. Yan yung natural role niya. If you inhibit the phosphodiesterase enzyme, tataas yung cyclic AMP. Pag tumaas ang cyclic AMP sa mga inflammatory cells, anong mangyayari? Ma-activate itong pathway na ito, yung phosphokinase A pathway that leads to decrease inflammatory cytokines and increase in anti-inflammatory cytokines. So, na-inhibit yung NF-κB at ma-activate yung REM. End result, bababa ang pro-inflammatory, tataas ang anti-inflammatory cytokines. Diba? So, kung kukunti na yung mga inflammatory, pro-inflammatory, mas madami yung anti-inflammatory, edi happy-happy tayo. Diba? Masaya. Walang pain. Okay? Now, ban-reduce yung mga inflammatory indicators. So, saan ginagamit ang apremilast? For RA, for psoriasis, and also in Behçet's disease. Ito lahat kasi autoimmune din to lahat. So, aside from RA, these are the other autoimmune disorders where this drug may be utilized. Ano ang adverse effect? Ganun din, kasi masosuppress yung immune system mo prone sa infection. But it can cause weight loss and depression, unlike in abatacept. Then we have azathioprine. Oh, you've heard this. So, ang azathioprine is an immune suppressant. We all know that azathioprine is a prodrug for mercaptopurine. And alam niyo din na ang mercaptopurine has anti-neoplastic property. Diba? So, azathioprine will be converted to an intermediate, which is mercaptopurine that is converted to 6-thioguanine. Diba? So, yung 6-thioguanine is the final metabolite that exert the therapeutic effect of azathioprine. In case of rheumatoid arthritis, ang tinatarget ng 6-thioguanines are the inflammatory cells in the joints. Yung lahat ng inflammatory cells involved in the autoimmune reaction. So, ano gagawin niya? The 6-TGN is quite a poison for DNA. Ang ginagawa niya, this 60GNN is incorporated into the normal DNA, causing DNA abnormality, pwedeng mag-split yung DNA, pwedeng maputol yung DNA, and therefore, multiplication of these inflammatory cells will be halted. Kaya magkakaroon ng bone marrow suppression din. Kasi rapidly metabolizing cells ang isa sa mga madaling matarget na mga ng drug na ito. Okay? 6-thioguanine. Okay? So, 6-thioguanine suppresses inosinic acid synthesis, suppressing B and T cell function, immunoglobulin production, and interleukin-2 secretion. Okay? So, yeah, maraming gamit ang azathioprine. So, in RA, it's an immunosuppressant. It is also used to prevent rejection of transplanted organs. Okay? And also other autoimmune disorders. Ano lang ang adverse effect? Siyempre, bone marrow suppression, prone ang pasyente sa lahat ng infection. It's also carcinogenic and may cause some GA disturbances. Next, we have the calcineurin inhibitors. Under calcineurin, andyan na yun, yung cyclosporine and tacrolimus. Okay? So, ang calcineurin is acted upon by phospholipase C, which upon activation will lead to release or dephosphorylation of NFAT. No? Yung NFAT is the one that upregulates cytokine genes. Ibig sabihin, itong mga ito, therefore yung mga calcineurin is involved in the upregulation for the synthesis of cytokines. Kaya siya pro-inflammatory itong calcineurin kasi dinadami niya yung cytokine production. So, itong mga gamot na to, yung mga cyclosporine and tacrolimus, they block the effect of calcineurin. So, pag na-block nila yung effect ng calcineurin, bababa yung mga pro-inflammatory cytokines. Okay? So, nai-inhibit ang interleukin-2 and 1 production, inhibit the receptor, inhibit macrophage T-cell interaction, reduces T-cell responsiveness, and inhibit T-cell dependent B-cell function. Kasi alam natin na yung T-cell activates B-cell to form antibodies. So, nai-inhibit yun. And therefore, mababawasan yung inflammation. Ano ang adverse effect nitong mga gamot na to? So, immunosuppressant din siya, not to mention that they could be cardiotoxic, neurotoxic, and nephrotoxic. Then another group of drug, we have chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine. Nadinig nyo na to, anti-malarials, di ba? Okay, pero paano to nag-work in RA? Okay, marami siyang mechanism of action. Sinusuppress yung glucoside, glucoside chemotaxis, but most importantly, okay, it interferes with endosomal non-pH oxidase 2. Now, itong mga drugs na to, alam natin, they are weak bases, they have large volume distribution. Bakit mataas ang volume distribution? Kasi, itong mga gamot na to, pumapasok sa loob ng cell. They are intracellularly located. Kaya nandun sila nag-distribute, wala sila sa bloodstream. Kaya, prolonged ang effect nila, mahaba ang effect. Kasi, nag-i-stay sila sa loob ng cells. And they have slower onset of action. So, at the molecular level, ang ginagawa ng chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine, they disrupt membrane stability. So, nasisira yung membranes ng cells and interfere with lysosomal activity and autophagy. So, ibig sabihin, hindi na sila makakakain ng mga citrullinated proteins, di ba? So, it alters the signaling pathway and transcriptional activity. At the cellular level, okay, so nai-inhibit ang immune activation. And autophagosome activity has potential for treatment. Yun yun, yung autophagosome activity niya is the target ng mga gamot na to. Nawawala yun, okay? Nasisira yung pagiging yung mga autophagosomes. Pero anong adverse effect? Ang pinaka-prominent adverse effect is retinopathy. Okay? Yan yung gusto kong tandaan nyo dyan. Not to mention that it can also cause cardiomyopathy and nightmares. Pero, ang kagandahan ng gamot na to, it is safe in pregnant patients. So, So, safe siya sa baby. Kaya pwedeng gamitin or i-take ng nanay na may RA even though buntis siya. Yun yung kagandahan niya. Hindi maapektuhan yung baby. Then we go to the next drug, which is methotrexate. Nadinig nyo na rin yung methotrexate. Sige, mag-quick ano lang tayo. Sadali. Madali lang ha, sadali. Kailangan ko lang itong i-address. Saglit na saglit. Hindi siya mananito. Saglit na saglit lang. Hindi tayo magbe-break. Hindi na tayo magbe-break. Kasi 5 slides lang. Ibig sabihin, walang identification mamaya. At walang fill in the blanks. Oo. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng isang exam kung saan nandun na yung answer. Pipiliin ko na lang. Nandun na yung answer, pero pipiliin nyo na lang. Ang pinakamalala kung halimbawa gawin ko siyang crossword puzzle. Kaso nain siyang crossword puzzle. Maganda ba yun? Maganda, no? Diba? Huwag kayo. Huwag kayo. Practice natin muna para sibok kayo. Okay? Gagawin ko pa, practice muna natin yan. Okay. Sige, konti na lang ito mga bet. Okay na. So, ito, methotrexate. So, kung nalilin na yung methotrexate, alam niyo siya na anti-folate. Diba? So, mechanism of action niya as anti-irrasic, it works by inhibiting dihydrofolate reductase. But in the management of RA, dahil alam natin, autoimmune disease siya, so paano niya nasusuppress yung immune reaction? Okay. So, it works by inhibiting an enzyme called ICAR transformylase. Yan siya. Yan o. Yung ICAR transformylase. Okay? So, this ICAR transformylase, okay, may inhibit, therefore, yung ICAR hindi mako-convert into its final metabolite. So, hindi yung formulated ICAR. So, ano yung ICAR? Napakahaba po niya. Oo. So, yung amino, imidazole, 4-carboxamide. Amino, imidazole, carboxamide, which is, okay, which is the one that activates adenosine deaminase enzyme. Ang role ng adenosine deaminase enzyme is to convert adenosine into inosine, di ba? Tapos magiging inosine monophosphate, and so forth and so forth. So, in short, kapag na-inhibit itong ICAR enzyme, tataas yung ICAR sa loob, at the same time, tataas din yung adenosine. High levels of adenosine intracellularly, hindi pwede. So this will be transported out by the ENT1 transporter. Ilalabas niya yung excess adenosine. Extracellularly, adenosine binds to adenosine receptor. So this adenosine, once it binds to the adenosine receptor, which is a G protein coupled receptor, will activate the adenosine signaling pathway, reducing inflammation. Okay? So nakita nyo, nasa loob na siya, lumabas pa. Oo. Kasi, hindi siya pwedeng makipag-react dito sa pathway, dito sa loob directly. Kailangan i-activate niya yung receptor. And alam niyo naman ang G protein. So it is the G protein that will activate the phosphokinase enzyme or the phospholipase enzyme, and this will lead to decrease in inflammation. So ilalabas para mag-activate yung pathway sa loob. Okay? So yun ang mechanism na methotrexate. Pag binasa nyo kasi yan, masisiraan kayo ng loob. Kaya pagkanta yung isa nakikita na lang natin, di ba? No? Kasi ang hirap ano tawag doon? Mahirap i-imagine. Lalo na kayo, kayo ay nabuhay na sa panahon ng marami ng gadgets at mga, kaya more of visual na. Kaya may visual representation. Okay? So alam niyo na, nasa loob, lalabas para sa activation ng adenosine signaling pathway. So, at dahil doon, mag-decrease yung inflammation. Nandoon ngayon yung kanyang anti-inflammatory effect. Now, ano yung ng adverse effect nito? Ayan. Ganun din sa adverse effect kung siya ay ginamit as anti-neoplastic. So, pwedeng stomatitis, so bone suppression, elevated liver enzymes, nakaka-ano din siya, alopecia. Okay? And last but not the least, we have the baricitinib, which is the representative drug sa lahat ng TK receptor inhibitors. Okay? Pare-pareho na lang yung mechanism. So, they inhibit JAK-STAT receptors, which are the receptor for the cytokine. Alam naman natin na yung cytokines, these are inflammatory mediators that leads to that inflammation in RA. So, blocking the receptor will prevent cytokine from activating these receptors, thus inhibiting gene transcription and the production of more inflammatory cells. Okay? So, I think that's the end of my lecture. Okay? So, hindi yung references na ginamit ko, pero meron na rin dyan na ibang journals, hindi ko na sinabi. Pero sa inyo, katsong lang, sapat na. Ha? Katsong lang, sapat na. Ang importante kasi, mapaintindihan yung concept, no? And so that when you read the book, it's quite easy kung ano na yung pick up nyo. So make sure that you know the MOA, the adverse effect, no? How the drug works. Basically, yung pinaka-importante yun. And yung outstanding kinetic property and adverse effects. Now, just a word of advice. Okay? Sabi sa ibang sections, but I want to tell this to you. Sana, hindi dahil sa ano pa man, but I should have said this also in other sections. You know, our profession is not just any